Did you know that Africa is set to have over 500 million e-commerce users by 2025? That's more than the entire population of the United States and Canada combined. But here's the kicker. 69% of Africa's web traffic comes from mobile devices, a figure that dwarfs global averages. In this video, we're diving deep into the mobile revolution that's reshaping African e-commerce. You'll discover why this shift isn't just a trend, but a fundamental change in how business is done across the continent. If you're an investor looking for the next big opportunity, you won't want to miss this. Picture two parallel universes of e-commerce, one where giants like Amazon and Alibaba reign supreme, and another where African innovators like Jumia and Flutterwave are reshaping the digital landscape. What sets these worlds apart? The answer lies in a fundamental shift that's transforming how business is conducted across the African continent, the mobile revolution. In Africa, e-commerce isn't just adapting to global trends, it's writing its own rulebook. The continent's unique challenges and opportunities have given rise to a mobile-first approach that's leapfrogging traditional models and creating an ecosystem unlike anything seen in more established markets. This isn't merely a trend, it's a necessity born from the lack of traditional infrastructure that has long hindered economic growth in many African nations. Consider this. In 2021, a staggering 69% of web traffic in Africa came from mobile devices. This figure dwarfs global averages and paints a picture of a continent where smartphones aren't just accessories, but essential tools for daily life and commerce. While the rest of the world grapples with the transition to mobile, Africa has embraced it wholeheartedly, turning a potential obstacle into a source of innovation and growth. The implications of this mobile-centric approach are far-reaching. Traditional e-commerce models, built on the assumption of widespread personal computer ownership and reliable broadband connections, simply don't apply in much of Africa. Instead, entrepreneurs and established businesses alike are developing solutions tailored to the realities of the African market. Solutions that prioritize mobile accessibility, data efficiency, and offline functionality. This shift is creating unprecedented opportunities for investors willing to look beyond conventional wisdom. The African e-commerce market isn't just growing, it's evolving at a pace that outstrips many more mature markets. By 2040, experts predict that Africa will be an almost exclusively mobile-based market, a transformation that will reshape every aspect of the digital economy. Imagine a marketplace where millions of consumers, many of whom have never owned a computer, are conducting business, accessing financial services, and participating in the global economy all through their mobile devices. This isn't a futuristic scenario. It's the reality unfolding across Africa today. From mobile money services that are revolutionizing financial inclusion to e-commerce platforms optimized for low bandwidth environments, African innovators are turning limitations into catalysts for creativity. The mobile revolution in Africa isn't just about technology, it's about reimagining the very nature of commerce and connectivity. In a continent where traditional brick-and-mortar retail infrastructure is often limited, mobile-based e-commerce isn't just an alternative, it's often the primary way people shop, bank, and access services. This reality is driving the development of unique business models and technologies that could well influence global e-commerce strategies in the years to come. Consider the potential ripple effects of Africa's mobile-first approach. As these innovations prove their worth in some of the world's most challenging markets, they may well find applications in other emerging economies or even in developed markets looking to reach underserved populations. The lessons learned from Africa's mobile revolution could shape the future of global e-commerce, influencing everything from user interface design to payment systems and logistics solutions. are beyond the continent's borders. But perhaps the most exciting aspect of Africa's mobile revolution is its potential to drive inclusive economic growth. By lowering barriers to entry for both consumers and entrepreneurs, mobile-based e-commerce is creating opportunities for participation in the formal economy that were previously out of reach for many Africans. This democratization of commerce has the potential to unleash a wave of innovation and entrepreneurship that could transform the continent's economic landscape. Picture a bustling marketplace in Lagos, Nigeria, where the air hums with the energy of countless transactions. But this isn't your typical bazaar, it's a digital marketplace where millions of Africans are redefining commerce. Welcome to the world of African e-commerce giants, where innovation isn't just a buzzword but a necessity for survival and growth. The rise of these digital titans isn't just a local phenomenon, it's a seismic shift that's challenging global norms. Jumia, often dubbed the Amazon of Africa, has carved out a significant presence across multiple African countries. But Jumia isn't simply replicating Amazon's playbook. Instead, it's leveraging Africa's unique mobile-first landscape to capture market share in ways that would make Silicon Valley veterans sit up and take notice. Consider the transformative power of Flutterwave, a company that's revolutionizing digital payments across the continent. In a region where traditional banking systems often fall short, Flutterwave is providing a seamless payment infrastructure tailored specifically to the needs of African consumers. This innovation is more than just convenient, it's a lifeline for the millions of Africans who lack access to formal banking services. The success of these platforms isn't just about technology, it's about understanding and adapting to the unique contours of the African market. These companies aren't merely imitating Western models, they're pioneering solutions that address the specific challenges and opportunities present in Africa. From navigating complex logistics in areas with limited infrastructure to creating user interfaces that work seamlessly on low-end smartphones, these innovations are born out of necessity and shaped by deep local insights. But the story of African e-commerce isn't one of uniformity. The landscape varies dramatically from country to country, creating a tapestry of diverse opportunities. In some nations, a handful of dominant players vie for supremacy, while in others, a multitude of smaller, specialized marketplaces cater to niche consumer needs. This variety isn't just interesting, it's a testament to the adaptability and creativity of African entrepreneurs. The absence of entrenched multinational marketplaces in many African countries has led to an intriguing phenomenon, a preference for local retailers. This trend isn't just about patriotism, it's about trust, relevance, and understanding local needs. African consumers are gravitating towards platforms that speak their language, both literally and figuratively, and offer products and services that resonate with their daily lives. As we witness the meteoric rise of these African e-commerce giants, it's natural to wonder, what's next? The projected growth is staggering, with Africa poised to surpass 500 million e-commerce users by 2025. This isn't just a number, it represents a massive shift in how an entire continent conducts business, shops, and interacts with the global economy. But why is this growth so explosive? The answer lies in a perfect storm of factors. Rapid urbanization is creating dense centers of consumers hungry for convenient shopping options. The expansion of mobile internet is bringing millions of Africans online for the first time. And a young, tech-savvy population is driving demand for digital solutions to everyday problems. Yet this is just the beginning. As these platforms grow and evolve, they're not just serving existing needs, they're creating entirely new markets and opportunities. From rural farmers accessing global markets to urban professionals discovering niche products, the ripple effects of this e-commerce revolution are reshaping African economies from the ground up. The success of companies like Jumia and Flutterwave is inspiring a new generation of African entrepreneurs. In every major city across the continent, startups are emerging with bold visions of how to solve local problems and capture market share. Some are focusing on last-mile delivery in challenging urban environments, while others are creating specialized marketplaces for everything from artisanal crafts to agricultural products. Picture a bustling marketplace in Nairobi where traders and customers alike are engrossed in their smartphones, tapping away to complete transactions. This scene isn't just a glimpse into the future of African commerce, it's the present reality in many parts of the continent. But beneath this digital facade lies a complex web of challenges that African e-commerce companies must navigate to succeed. Imagine trying to build the next Amazon or Alibaba in a region where traditional banking infrastructure is as rare as an oasis in the Sahara. With only 2% credit card penetration across the continent, African e-commerce platforms face a fundamental question: how do you sell to customers who can't swipe a card? This financial hurdle has forced companies to innovate in ways that are reshaping the very concept of online transactions. Enter the mobile money revolution. Solutions like M-Pesa have become the lifeblood of digital commerce in many African countries. In Kenya, for instance, a staggering 88% of the population now has access to banking services primarily through their phones. This mobile-first approach to finance is filling the void left by traditional banks, creating a unique ecosystem where phones double as wallets. But the story of African e-commerce innovation doesn't end with mobile money. Consider the rise of cash-on-delivery models, a concept that might seem antiquated in more developed markets but is proving transformative in Africa. In a continent where trust in online systems is still developing, the ability to pay for goods upon delivery has become a crucial bridge between the digital and physical worlds of commerce. This preference for tangible transactions is rooted in a stark reality. Almost half of the adults in Africa don't possess any formal bank account. It's a statistic that would send shivers down the spine of any e-commerce entrepreneur from Silicon Valley. Yet African startups are turning this challenge into an opportunity, developing hybrid models that blend the convenience of online shopping with the familiarity of cash transactions. Now, picture trying to deliver a package in a city where street names change, as often as the weather and formal addresses are a luxury few can afford. This logistical nightmare is the daily reality for e-commerce companies operating across much of Africa. But necessity, as they say, is the mother of invention. African platforms are pioneering innovative delivery solutions that cater to local conditions, from using landmarks as reference points to developing sophisticated mapping technologies that can navigate the most informal settlements. These unique challenges have created a landscape where global giants like Amazon have yet to establish a significant foothold. This absence of multinational marketplace dominance has opened the door for local and regional players to thrive. From Nigeria to South Africa, homegrown platforms are emerging, each tailored to the specific needs and nuances of their target markets. The innovations born from these challenges are not just stopgap measures. They represent a fundamental reimagining of how e-commerce can function in emerging markets. As we examine these solutions, it's worth considering how they might be applied to other developing regions worldwide. Could the mobile money systems of Kenya provide a blueprint for financial inclusion in Southeast Asia? Might the flexible delivery models of Nigerian e-commerce platforms offer insights for companies operating in the sprawling urban centers of Latin America? The role of mobile money in facilitating e-commerce transactions across Africa cannot be overstated. It's not just a payment method, it's a catalyst for economic inclusion. By providing access to financial services for millions previously excluded from the formal banking sector, mobile money is enabling a new class of consumers to participate in the digital economy. This transformation is happening at a pace that outstrips many more mature markets, suggesting that Africa may leapfrog traditional e-commerce models entirely. Picture the future of African e-commerce, a landscape brimming with potential where fashion and electronics lead the charge. By 2025, experts predict fashion sales will soar to $13.4 billion, while electronics will reach a staggering $11.2 billion. This isn't just growth, it's a transformation of the entire retail ecosystem. But the real opportunity lies beyond these impressive figures. Imagine being at the forefront of a mobile payment revolution or backing a local online marketplace that truly understands the unique needs of African consumers. These aren't just pipe dreams, they're tangible investment opportunities taking shape right now. As Africa's middle class expands and mobile penetration deepens, the continent is poised for an e-commerce explosion. The question isn't if this growth will happen, but who will be bold enough to ride this wave of innovation. Will you be part of writing the next chapter in Africa's digital commerce?